Jimmy Garoppolo is now the starting quarterback for the 49ers. Their gamble has officially paid off. Trey Lance looked like the guy of the future, but now, how certain really is that? So with Trey Lance, it's been a revolving door, kind of like Tua in a way, where his career has always been for the last couple of years. And Trey Lance, this is his second year. Last year as a rookie. It felt like that last year. It was kind of like how it was like the Aaron Rodgers plan. We're going to sit you for a while. We're going to see how you develop. You're definitely a talent we need to stick around with and keep. But we want to just develop you for a year, maybe two, depending on how Jimmy Garoppolo does. They felt like he did enough to let Jimmy Garoppolo explore his options, and it ended up not coming to fruition. He ended up coming back for a $10 million deal, and it seemed like he was just kind of sit around until a team wanted him back, wanted to trade for him, wanted to take his value into a new place, a new franchise. But Trey Lance, for one game, it was an ugly game in Chicago. You can take it for what it is in a monsoon, and he ends up breaking his ankle in a gruesome injury. I don't really recommend that you look it up, and I stupidly did it just because I was like, oh, I have to see this. And then I was like, I don't want to see this. But Trey Lance is out for the season. It is Jimmy Garoppolo's team. And man, I don't think he was happy, obviously, about the injury, but man, was he and Jimmy Garoppolo was in great spirits. And I think it's just been everything that he's had to go through with his career all of last year. No matter what he did, he knew that Trey Lance was in the door waiting for Garoppolo to leave so Trey Lance could take over. Ooh, about to, how you have those moments where you're about to sneeze and you don't sneeze. And I'm like, I had that right before I recorded this. And now if you can see me on YouTube, I'm like looking like I'm a crazy person. I'm blinking a lot, but yeah, the 49ers fans probably held their breath for a while, but what a great situation for San Francisco because they have a quarterback they can throw in who knows the system, knows the offense. Kyle Shanahan, I believe, is 31-14 with him as a starter. So there's an obvious positive rapport there between the two. Garoppolo's been to a Super Bowl, an NFC championship last year. You could argue a dropped interception away from another Super Bowl appearance. And who knows, they maybe could have won. That pass rush versus the Bengals could have been a really interesting matchup to examine. But yeah, the Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely not a bad option to have around. I don't think the 49ers plan for Trey Lance to have this kind of injury where they go, hey, if Trey Lance suddenly breaks his ankle, we got Jimmy Garoppolo waiting in the aisle, ready to go. He was the perfect understudy for the San Francisco 49ers team, and I think it's going to reward them handsomely. I think this is a division with Seattle struggling. They're obviously in rebuilding mode. The Cardinals are a weird mess that I really didn't believe in the start of the season. I certainly still don't believe in now. And the Rams are really odd because I thought they had it all figured out. I thought they just ran into a juggernaut in Buffalo, and then looks like they take care of business against Atlanta, and then they fell apart. It was almost like watching the Falcons, but on the West Coast. It was crazy. And sorry for the shot, Falcons fans, but it happened. It was crazy to see. So this is a 49ers team that their season, it's not like Cowboys where when Dak Prescott is down for 6 to 8 weeks and you bring in Cooper Rush, eventually Cooper Rush is going to get outmatched. He's going to he's going to face an NFL team where it's just not going to, the pieces are not going to come together. For Jimmy Garoppolo, as a backup, his value it almost skyrockets more than he was a starter. It is the perfect situation for San Francisco. I have so many prayers out of Trey Lance, though. It's a gruesome injury to go through, and his career looked like he was really getting ready to take off. He's got such talent, great arm talent. I don't know if he had put it all together just yet, and there was a lot of potential sitting there. But for Jimmy Garoppolo, it's a great opportunity to prove himself and continue to boost his value. Either San Francisco makes another playoff run like they did last year, because Garoppolo is that perfect game manager that has all the weapons. They have Deebo Samuel. They have George Kittle when he's healthy. They have a fantastic defense. The key is when they're healthy. They have all the pieces to really put it together. Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo, like I've said before in this segment, they have the rapport to make this work. So there's a lot of good you can take away from. Not many teams have this kind of situation where one quarterback's waiting and he can just as easily win a Super Bowl or compete for one as well as the starter can. That's a rare situation to find. And I think the San Francisco 49ers, looking back on it, are going to be very pleased that they made this decision. John Lynch is going to be very pleased that he made this decision to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. This is going to be a really great test to see how this works out. And I think this was a weird year for quarterbacks too. Everyone felt like they had theirs solidified. So if Jimmy Garoppolo can have a great year, he might be that one of those top quarterbacks when he becomes a free agent in February or March, whenever the period ends for him, he could be one of the top quarterbacks on the market. Still relatively young, could still play maybe 2, 3, 4 more years of great football, game manager football for a contender that just needs a quarterback that is going to take care of the football, can make good throws, not make terrible mistakes, good decisions. Garoppolo is not a bad option for a team. I still think he's a top 16 quarterback in this league. He can make all the throws. He doesn't have to run with his legs, and this offense is tailored to a quarterback that can just game manage. I mean, he won the NFC Championship throwing the ball 7 times, not because of he couldn't, but because they didn't need him to. And when he was called upon, he took him to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game. He took down Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay in the snow and almost beat Matt Stafford and the LA Rams Super Bowl champs, who they have given problems in the regular season. So there's a lot of things. If you're a 49ers fan, you got to be hopeful that your gamble, you got to be excited that your gamble paid off. Sad about Lance and that prospect, but know you get a guy that's probably more NFL ready than the guy you had started. It's not a bad situation to be in. All right, so we're going to take another short break just because I need to get a glass of water and I need to sneeze and blow my nose. We're going to talk about Buffalo and their dominance and why I think I have them shoehorned in for the Super Bowl and why Malik Willis may be the Tennessee Titans starter very soon. All right, this is Man with Plan Podcast taking a short break.